Excellent. Thank you and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Badge. Thank you for joining us. I see our audience is filling in quickly, and I am so excited to share 19 more incredible employee stories with you today. My name is Steve Fecto. I'm from Talent Development and Learning, our sponsor for Beyond the Badge series. This is our third season, episode 7. Over 600 employee stories have now been shared over our history on this show. However, with 48,000 employees, there are always new stories to share, and we've got a wonderful collection for you today. I can't wait to introduce them to you. I do want to shout out the people who are backstage with our honorees ready to go, and that is our Mount Sinai Spotlight Committee. The people who are going to read our stories today for our honorees are the leaders who are so committed to employee engagement, employee experience, patient experience here at Mount Sinai Health System from all of our different sites and campuses. They're going to read our stories. And special thanks to our colleagues backstage, bringing everyone up to the screen. It's Alyssa G and Andrea, Michael Joseph, and Jessica Rubin. They're helping us out backstage. And we can't wait to share these for you. Now, if you're a new member of our audience, first time coming to celebrate a colleague, I want you to know where these stories come from. I don't choose these stories. The most senior leadership in our entire health system have selected these employee stories. We have a system daily huddle. Every day, our leadership comes together and they have a conversation to make sure we're set across our system for a high quality, safe, incredible, excellent day for our patients, for our employees, for our guests. And they make a pause where one leader out of the 100 that come to that huddle, one leader gets their turn to share one employee story. And they know their turn's coming up and they're looking for patient letters. They're looking for star messages, peer-to-peer appreciation that they just love. Any incredible moments or stories or examples of our values really coming to life. They find the one story that truly resonated with them and they can't wait to proudly share. These are the stories we're sharing with you. We collected the ones from July and we're ready to share them with you today. So that's where these stories come from. And our leaders are our regulars in our audience. They come back month after month to be rejuvenated by hearing this full collection of these stories. And you know what? I actually want to take a moment to go to a couple of our leaders who are out there in our audience. I asked if they'd come on screen and say a few words to welcome our guests. I'm going to go first. She's on the Quality Leadership Council who just met and does this quality work in our system. Our System Vice President of Quality and Regulatory Affairs for the health system is Dr. Lawanza Harris. Dr. Harris, I'd love it if you could come on and say hello to our honorees and to our audience and why you're excited to be here today.
Sure. Thank you, Steve. I mean, what a way to start a Friday and end a week with incredible stories about our amazing employees. And I think it's worth noting that our foundation, our health system is built upon the work that our employees do. And so I'm incredibly excited to hear about these stories. I think it's important that we recognize, number one, it's great that the leaders nominated our employees for the great work that they've done, the colleagues who support them, the family, the friends, it's all important. And it's always important that we are getting out ourselves and that we're talking to our employees, we're understanding what their concerns are, we're recognizing people right there on the spot for the great work that they're doing. This is how we fuel our spirit as leaders. And I want to say thank you to everyone who's being nominated. I mean, 600 thus far, Steve, that's incredible. And so it's apparent that the employees who've been nominated, they have been consistent with our mission and our core values. I know we're going to hear some stories that speak to the agility, the teamwork, the safety concerns that people raise. This is all important that we keep our values at the center. So I want to end by congratulating the honorees. And like I said, I really want to hear what everyone has done. And I know it's going to be a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. Yeah, you're going to hear our values come up regularly. Our We Find a Way brand purpose. You're going to hear that quite a bit. And I do want to shout out, these huddle moments are intentional, and it's great for our leaders to plan these moments where we pause for recognition. So thanks to our partners, Joe Mari, Swati Garg, Hillary Polly, who lead this in the System Daily Huddle, collect these stories and get them to us. We couldn't do this show without your direction in leading this aspect of our System Daily Huddle with our senior leadership. Next up, I want to go, our first story is going to be for a team at Mount Sinai Queens. So I want to call on our Deputy Chief Nursing Officer and Vice President of Nursing and Patient Care Services at Mount Sinai Queens. That's Jill Goldstein. Jill, I'm sure you're excited to hear not only the Queens team, but all of our celebrant stories.
Well, I am so excited to be here. Dr. Luanza Harris, I agree with everything you said and admire you, whether we're in person or, on Zoom. And Steve, your energy and enthusiasm, you can't help but want to be here. And as Diane Adams said, the best Friday of the month. Just love it. I want to say a couple of words, and so proud of Queens, but I am so proud of the system. And so, little bias, but senior leaders, we really do understand the importance of appreciation and recognizing our staff, knowing that it drives engagement, productivity, and loyalty. It's just one of many strategies to ensure that employees feel valued. And that's really important. Today's Beyond the Badge is just one exemplar of how we bring this to light across a system. And I'm so grateful to always listen in and to be part of it today. Thank you for calling on me. Senior leaders create a culture of recognition from leading from the top. They make appreciation a core skill. Celebrating successes, whether it be in town halls or team meetings or huddles or through internal communications. It not only highlights contributions, but also reinforces the culture of mutual respect and gratitude. We as human beings thrive on that. We thrive on that. Senior leaders, we also ensure that recognition is personalized and meaningful by getting to know our staff's individual achievements at a certain time and place and effort. Also the challenges, and senior leaders can be specific with the praise, which amplifies its impact. So whether the recognition comes in form of a handwritten note, as Steve described, a personal shout out, or a public acknowledgement during these meetings, such as today, or at our home bases, we as humans, again, we strive to be the best that we can be, and these actions make employees feel seen, appreciated, and heard. Lastly, senior leaders encourage a culture of peer-to-peer recognition, right? And so we don't want to forget that after today, you all still have the license to continue to recognize one another, to foster systems that allow employees to recognize each other's work, creating the environment of safety where appreciation is constant and shared. From formal award programs to spontaneous celebrations of wins, senior leaders play a crucial role in nurturing the workplace where recognition is ingrained in our everyday practice. Senior leaders, last but not least, understand that appreciating and celebrating staff is not a one-time effort, but is an ongoing, and that effort directly impacts an organization's success. Thank you for the honor. I'm sitting back and I'm waiting to hear all the stories. Congratulations to everybody who appears today and who's appeared in the last 3 seasons and the last 6 episodes.
Well, thank you so much, Jill. Really love it. And you're right. It's not only senior leaders' responsibility, it's all of our responsibility to help our colleagues feel valued and appreciated by us. And you can do that. Hop into the chat throughout this episode. We usually have 500-600 chat messages. Make sure you set it to everyone so that everyone sees your message, and shout out the colleagues and really pinpoint the things that you really appreciate about their story. Also, in our resources tab, you can find direct links to our program today, to some bios in our speaker section about each celebrant, and to that star appreciation, that peer-to-peer appreciation link that you can submit your own custom appreciation. All right, well, let's go to our stories. We've got 19 to share, and we're going to go first to our team award. It's a little longer. There's 6 people on a team, all to be recognized. We're going out to Mount Sinai Queens. Zach Key is standing by with that group, and let's jump right into it, Zach.
Thank you so much, Steve. So the story reads, a Mount Sinai Queen's patient wrote to recognize many members of the team who made her feel like royalty during her emergency room and inpatient experience. Joanna Olea was a godsend because she alerted my son as to where I was, as I don't own a cell phone. Physician assistant Joseph Creamy prepared me for my procedure, was instrumental in securing appointments for future medical attention, and he obtained documentation and information for post-discharge. Nurse Tenson Lekpal enlightened me by explaining in detail the different equipment and procedures involved during my stay, relieving me of much anxiety. Nurse Saida Irfan Mamedakova was always there for my every need. She knew instinctively when I was being despondent and needed to talk. Dr. Naeem Chowdhury is a truly caring person and a knowledgeable physician. When I first came to the ER, he knew exactly how to treat me, and he became my primary care physician, responsible for my well-being ever since. While not connected with my recent inpatient issues, Ana Rodriguez has appeared on many occasions in the neighborhood and has always been most cheerful and personable. She is the perfect person for this job, and if I ever have a Mount Sinai query, she is always the person I call to confirm my information. Mount Sinai Queens is by far a most outstanding facility, and I'm so grateful for the medical attention that I received. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Zach. A really wonderful example of how the patient experience is that sum of all experiences. It really detailed the unique aspect of their care that they had in a relationship with each of you. And I'm wondering who can speak to that patient experience culture and that team culture at Mount Sinai Queens that leads to these overall excellent experience letters like this from our patients.
Thank you so much, Zach. Thank you for the Beyond the Badge recognition. This really does help renew a sense of purpose. Really does really contribute to incredible corporate culture that makes us really want to be there every day, not have to be. Every day, our patients entrust us with their care, often during some of the most vulnerable moments of their lives. And it really is a privilege to be there for them. They're not feeling well. The fact that someone's taking the time to reflect on this team really is a gift to us. And I think this is a good reminder of that to everyone. And it's really our privilege to earn that. The heartfelt letters from patients, they really remind us of the impact we have every day. And we appreciate that Mount Sinai is committed to taking pauses like this because they don't have to, they want to. It really does, I think, reflect the whole team a true sense of gratitude. Really do appreciate that the patients and the committee do this type of work. So thank you. And on behalf of this team here at Mount Sinai Queens, we're happy to be here.
Oh,
Thank you.
woo! All right. Well, thank you so much. And I love to just picture this patient like as a team. They didn't see you all at once. You weren't one team, that this is their journey through each touch point with each of you and to get you together. I think that's really fun. So I hope you get a chance to talk and mingle and connect as well throughout. So thank you so much for this incredible story. Zach, thank you so much. And have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the show. We're going to move on to our employee spotlight section. We're actually going to move someone up. We're going to go back to back at Brooklyn. Let's bring Katrina Bravo up. We have two employees who are recognized, and they really fit in that patient journey pretty closely together in admitting and in pre-surgical testing. Let's go first to our admitting colleague, Stacy Waldron, and Katrina has a story for Stacy.
Stacy Waldron, as the lead admitting representative on our patient access team, she is often the first face you see upon checking into the hospital for a procedure or admission. Stacy's empathy and warmth immediately puts patients and their families at ease. In addition to hospital admissions, Stacy also supports our endoscopy unit with scheduling, setting up outpatient appointments for those needing subspecialty and specialty referrals across our health system. Stacy always puts her best foot forward. She's compassionate and follows through on all tasks and special projects presented to her as the recent launch of One Epic. Stacy Waldron continues to excel and grow as a role model and a mentor to the patient access team and is a true asset to all of Mount Sinai Brooklyn. Thank you, Stacy.
Excellent. Thank you. And Stacy, what is your approach to this huge responsibility of being that first face patients see when coming for a procedure at the hospital. What's your key to
Yeah.
success in providing them with an empathic and positive patient experience?
Well, thank you for the kind words. Well, my key to success really is to be very engaging and supportive to the patients that walk in because they're already filled with so much anxiety. To just keep them calm and show them that I care and I'm here to answer whatever questions that need to be answered.
Yeah, what
That's really,
starts with that empathy, the
yeah,
understanding of what it's like to come in for surgery, and
definitely.
recognizing that anxiety, and then listening for their needs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, Stacy, thank you. We're lucky to have you as that first impression on such a big day in their lives and an emotional and anxiety-filled day. To be able to be greeted by you at the start of that day is clearly making a difference.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy.
All
And
right.
the person they may have met just before Stacy is Madeline Corbisiero from Mount Sinai, Brooklyn, in our pre-surgical testing. So before you go in for the big surgery day, you meet with Madeline. So let's bring Madeline up, and Katrina, let's go right into this story.
So the perioperative service leadership team at Mount Sinai Brooklyn recognizes Madeline Corbisero, head nurse of the pre-surgical testing unit. They state, Madeline has led the PST unit for several years, and we celebrate her for her safety-conscious approach and welcoming demeanor toward all patients undergoing pre-surgical testing. Madeline treats her patients with kindness, compassion, and respect, ensuring they have a pleasant experience throughout their visit. She conducts thorough assessments of her patients and promptly escalates any potential issues regarding their care to the medical and anesthesiology staff on duty. Madeline also fosters an excellent working relationship with the team, built on mutual respect and teamwork. Thank you, Madeline, for your dedication and for the outstanding care and exceptional service you provide to our patients every day.
Yeah, thank you. And Madeline, this message came from your leadership applauding your outstanding care, but also your exceptional service. Can you describe your personal approach to creating exceptional patient experiences, and what do you think it is that really makes the difference for your patients?
Well, I feel that I'm the first face they see in pre-surgical testing. Make them try to feel comfortable. The patients are nervous regarding upcoming surgeries. I'm involved with their care. I'm happy to be part of their team and their care of for surgery. Patients feel comfortable speaking to me if there's any problems or concerns. I always give them my name, my phone number, whether it's pre-surgery or post-surgery or a month later after surgery. I've been working in pre-surgical testing for 26 years, so I feel like it's like my job to make sure everything goes well. But I appreciate this being recognized also with this award. Thank you. I'm a little nervous.
Well, Madeline, you
Thank
said it
you.
wonderfully, and we're fortunate to have your vast experience of 26 years and understanding patients and the anxieties they face, and to offer yourself before, after, by personal phone is going beyond the badge, and an exceptional example. Thank you so much, Madeline, and thank you, Katrina. Way to go, Mount Sinai Brooklyn, back to back. And now we're going to go into a category. We break them up into categories, as you'll see in our program. The next set is all patient appreciation. They're letters from our patients. And we're going to go first to Mount Sinai South Nassau with Marie Facella, and Olivia McGregor is going to come on to read that story for Marie. Oh, that's Christine. We'll get Marie up. Olivia, you take it away.
All right. Thank you, Steve. A patient's relative recently wrote this message regarding the support and compassion Nurse Marie Fasella showed their family in a difficult time. They wrote, I wanted to share our experience with one exceptional employee, Marie Fasella. My beloved mother-in-law was admitted on an emergent basis and she passed away. Marie Fasella went above and beyond to ensure that my mother-in-law was well taken care of and treated with kindness, dignity, and respect. Marie went even further and showed us enormous compassion and empathy towards our family. I believe that heaven sent us an angel that day in Marie Fasella, and we are eternally grateful that our paths crossed. She is a real asset to your hospital, and you are blessed to have her there. Thank you, Marie, for all you do to provide compassionate care, not only to our patients, but to our families as well.
Yeah, thank you. What a letter. And Marie, this family member recognizes the kindness and the care they observed you providing the patient, while also appreciating that same compassion and empathy you showed them as the family. How would you describe your approach to extend that commitment to excellent patient care not only to the patient, but to family members that are involved in their care?
Well, I it was kind of an extraordinary experience. The husband just didn't want to let go of the wife. We worked really hard on the wife, and despite our best efforts, she didn't make it, and he didn't know how to let go. And sometimes we have to transition into care of the family now. And I didn't think I did anything extraordinary. I just did what we all do, which is just, caring for the patient. And that's all I did, was just try to console him and let him know that I would take care, and he can let her go now, and that I would take care of the body, and he did not have to do anything more, and just say goodbye. And when I let him know that, he was able to let go, because he wasn't leaving her until I told him, I got her. I got you from here. I'll take care of her. And that was it.
Wow. Well, Marie, extraordinary people rarely find their own actions extraordinary, but we do. And that's why your story was shared. And there's 1,000 hearts fluttering up in front of me on my screen here, hearing that emotional story, and why I often keep tissues nearby, which I don't have right here. I've got to remember to bring my tissues for Beyond the Badge. But thank you. What an emotional story. And thank you for being there for your patients and for their families all the way throughout that process. Really heartfelt, really touching. Thank you. And thank you, Olivia. We're going to go next to New York I&E, or now we'll bring up Christine Pescator, who's got Tiffany Tucker Sims, another admitting patient coordinator. So admitting's the theme of the day. Hi, Tiffany. Let's have Christine come on up and read this story.
Hi, Steve.
Okay.
You're good.
Thank you. A patient wrote to express her gratitude for admitting patient coordinator Tiffany Tucker Sims for showing empathy during a recent cataract surgery. I would love this opportunity to tell you about my experience with Tiffany Tucker. When I arrived, I was a nervous wreck with anxiety through the roof, and as I waited for my turn, the anxiety built and built. Tiffany took one look at me and was all about making sure I was okay. She calmed and comforted me. Her entire manner was one of kindness and caring. She is one of those rare individuals that radiate goodness, and she turned my entire attitude around. As if that weren't enough, as I was entering the hospital the next morning for my follow-up visit, I ran into Tiffany right outside the building. She came right to me saying, "Hello, you look great. How are you feeling? So nice to see you. You've got a real treasure with Miss Tucker." I could just tell that she is the attitude she displays daily to all of the people she encounters, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell you my individual experience. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you. I love that, picturing that moment of you seeing her on the street and running right up and checking in. And, even this patient recognized how the wonderful experience they had must be a reflection of how you treat every patient. They commented on that. And can you tell us about that? What is that personal approach, that personal commitment you make into caring for and emotionally supporting these patients going into surgery?
Well, she suffered from anxiety. So sometimes we have like protocols and things to follow, but you just got to take yourself out of it and the business part out of it when you see somebody like that. So that's how I feel. So I turn it into a personal experience. So I guess that's why it comes off so caring, because that's just me genuinely. I would want somebody to treat my mom like that, my aunt. So I always keep that in the forefront. I'm going to treat somebody the way I want to be treated. That's it.
Yeah, well, wonderful, Tiffany, and you're bringing that into every patient experience, treating everyone like family. It's that back to that understanding what they're going to go through and the anxiety we face. That has been the theme so far today, for sure. Recognizing the anxiety and being a patient, and then meeting them like family and supporting them through it. Thank you so much, Tiffany. A wonderful patient letter.
Thank you so much.
We're so glad we could see you.
Bye, you guys. Congratulations to everybody. I have to go back to work.
Okay. Well, thank you, Tiffany. We got a lot of great stories to share with our audience still. We're going to go to Mount Sinai West for, I believe, the next pair. We'll start with West leadership, hospital leadership. Recognize Nicolette Oudkirk. Let's bring on Nicolette. All right. We got your video going, Nicolette. Let's have you over. Hey, Andres. We'll have you share these next two.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and congratulations to all today. So a patient writes, quote, I express my sincere gratitude and admiration for the exceptional care I received from physician assistant Nicolette in the emergency department. I came to the hospital with a laceration in my foot, and Nicolette's care was nothing short of phenomenal. From the moment she began attending to me, Nicolette's kindness and professionalism were evident. She took the time to communicate every step of the treatment process, ensuring that I was fully informed and comfortable with what was happening. Her ability to ease my nerves and provide reassurance was truly remarkable, and it made a significant difference in my overall experience. Nicolette's dedication, empathy, and exceptional skill set her apart as a truly outstanding healthcare provider. It is individuals like Nicolette who make a profound impact on patients, and I am truly grateful for the care she provided. Congratulations, Nicolette.
Thanks, Andres. And Nicolette, I got to say, I love it when a patient really specifically and clearly states exactly what made the biggest impact on their experience. They described a lot of attributes for you. What stood out to you from this letter as something that, the patient noticed and that you take the most pride in knowing that that's how you make a difference for all of your patients?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the nomination. I think what I pride myself most on is just allowing my patients to know what is going to go on at every step of the way. I think that it allows them to have power in their experience. And I would also want someone to do that for me as well. And if they have any questions at any time, I always stop to ask them just to make sure they feel comfortable and they know what's going on. And if they don't want to continue, they also have that choice as well. So I think just allowing patients to have that choice, I think is really important.
So it starts with very clear, transparent communication to understand what's happening for you, what's the next steps, what's happening, and then offering choice within that. Excellent. Well, thank you, Nicolette. Clearly makes a difference for this patient, which means I know it makes a difference for all your patients. And we thank this patient for writing this letter to express that. Okay, thank you so much. I know you got your busy day in the emergency department. We love our ED staff and getting you to join us in these sessions too. And Andre, stick right with us here. We're going to Mount Sinai West Ambulatory Leadership. When they had their turn to present, it was for Lady Vasquez. Let's bring her up. Excellent.
All right, so congratulations, Lady. So medical assistant Lady Vasquez in our Mount Sinai West surgery practice consistently delivers exceptional patient care. Lady's empathetic approach, demonstrated by her kindness and welcoming demeanor, significantly alleviates our patients' anxiety and fosters a positive and supportive environment. One patient commented, quote, Lady was kind while walking me through everything. She asked how my day was, and she was very caring and personable. Another patient shared excellent care from the medical assistant lady. She was friendly and put me at great ease. Lady's commitment extends beyond direct patient interactions. Despite being new to her role in the practice, she readily takes on additional projects and proactively supports others in the department. Her commitment to exceptional care, proactive problem solving, and collaboration is truly inspiring, and her enthusiasm and knowledge are praised by colleagues across departments. Thank you, Lady. We are so grateful to have you on our Mount Sinai West ambulatory team, and congratulations again.
Yeah, excellent. This recognition started with patient letters, multiple patient letters, and then went into how much your team and your colleagues appreciate all the work you do in the department. How would you describe the core commitment you make that drives this all-around success, whether it's the team or your patients in your work at Mount Sinai? Uh-oh, we're losing your voice there, lady. Uh-oh, it might be your microphone's not working. You're off mute. We're going to give you a second. Really terrific story, and we want to hear from you. Try another one.
Can you hear me
there
now?
There you go. Okay, get that headset out of there and
wait
this way.
Oh my God.
Okay, you're good now. Yeah, we'd love to hear about your commitment, whether it's to the patients or to the team and colleagues. We can hear you that way, lady. Maybe you can't hear us. You're good. Go for it. We can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. I was trying to fix
my voice was coming through your headset. Your voice was coming through to us. You got all mixed up.
Again, thank you so much for the recognition. Despite being a newly hired employee back in February, I appreciate it very much. So to answer your question, my core commitment is basically to always put the patient first. I've been on the other side where I went for surgical intervention before. So I understand what it means to be nervous, to have questions, to basically fearing the unknown because you've never been through it before. So I just want to make sure that I'm giving them the best care possible, even though I'm just the medical assistant. I'm not doing anything surgically, but they come across me first. I believe in staying focused, curious, and learning constantly and working closely with my team. And by doing so, I'm just ensuring that I'm always growing and giving my best, which allows me to provide care to the best of my ability, basically.
Well, I love it, lady. And you just got to remove the "I'm just a medical assistant" from your vocabulary, because you're making an incredible impact on these patients. And going into surgery is the theme of the day here, and understanding that anxiety. And you clearly do empathize with that. And we appreciate the insights you shared with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And Andres, I think we'll see you a little later on, but we're going to go into our next category, stories of excellence. These are some of the one-time remarkable events that have occurred that we want to shout out. I think we've got a pair from pharmacy to start us off. Let's go first to Mount Sinai Hospital ambulatory leadership, who recognized Erica Abraham, and my colleague at MSH, Colette Watson, is going to read this story.
Thank you, Steve, and congratulations to Erica. So our story reads, Erica Abraham recently had a patient who was enrolled in our obstetrics remote patient monitoring program for elevated blood pressure readings. A blood pressure machine was mailed to the patient's home, and they completed a few blood pressure measurements, all of which were very elevated. Erica received a notification in Epic about these elevated readings, and after calling the patient and assessing her symptoms, Erica quickly worked with the patient's OBGYN to bring the patient into labor and delivery immediately due to suspected preeclampsia. In labor and delivery, the patient's blood pressure remained elevated despite the administration of additional blood pressure medication. The patient had proteinuria and was diagnosed with preeclampsia. The patient went on to complete a C-section that evening, 1 month before her initially scheduled C-section. Because of Erica's quick follow-up and care, the patient and her baby experienced a safe outcome in what could have been a very dangerous situation.
Yeah, thank you, Erica. I don't think I've ever seen so many wow face emojis floating up on my screen before. And this is a wow. And what a program, this remote patient monitoring program, to be able to be there for the safety of this patient. And I'm wondering if you can talk more about that. Tell us about the exceptional and safe care you're able to provide patients, not just in this case, but in all cases through this program and the work you do.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thank you all so much for this honor. I've been with Mount Sinai for 6 years now, and I've had a few different roles at this point, but I can confidently say, creating and implementing this program as an extension of our current remote patient monitoring program for our obstetric patients has definitely been the most impactful one so far. I'm the clinical pharmacist on the team, and I'm able to collaborate with our high-risk OB providers to provide this real-time, proactive telehealth blood pressure monitoring for our pregnant and our postpartum patients as well. And it's really rewarding to know my ongoing follow-ups with these patients, while they might just seem like telephone calls, it really has led to early detection of potentially serious complications for mom and or baby, and being able to be part of those prompt interventions has really been very impactful for patients, but also for myself in my work as well. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And thank you for sharing more about the work that you do. That's another reason I think our audience comes, is you get to hear of some of the incredible things we're doing for patients now, and the people behind those programs. So thank you for being, one of the initial members, it sounds like, of this new aspect of the program. And we love to hear the stories that are coming out of it.
Thank you so much.
Very powerful. Thank you, Erica. And sticking on our theme here, we're going to go back to Queens, another pharmacy. This was Mount Sinai Health System pharmacy leadership recognized Queens employee Jeremy Carpenter with a great catch story. So Zach, we'll hear this one for Jeremy.
Thank you, Steve. So pharmacy leadership recognized Jeremy Carpenter for a great catch. When a 6-year-old pediatric patient presented to the ED due to a needle stick he suffered while riding her bike, the treatment team placed orders for medications to prevent an HIV infection. However, Jeremy noted that the weight entered seemed low based on the patient's age, so he investigated by researching the average weight for 6-year-old children. and look for a previous weight recording in the patient's chart. After noting a drastic difference, Jeremy called the pharmacy and asked them to hold the meds and reweigh the patient. When he learned that the parents took the children home for bed with plans to return to pick up the meds later, Jeremy called the father and explained the need to confirm the patient's weight, waiting online as the father woke the child up and took photos of multiple weigh-ins on their home scale, allowing him to update the patient's chart and properly adjust the orders to the correct weight. While the wait time may have been a bit longer, Jeremy's commitment to patient safety ensured that no harm came to the patient.
Yeah, thank you, Zach. Jeremy, the word that kept popping in my head when I read this story was relentless. We use relentlessly advancing health as our internal slogan and purpose, and you were relentless about ensuring the safety of your patient. Our number one value, always safety first. And can you talk about that? The time you took to investigate to ensure no harm would come to this patient. Tell us about your vigilant approach to ensuring safety in your role in pharmacy.
Oh, thank you. So yes, that night it was a pretty late night, and I don't know. I've asked God earlier this year to please give me the patience, the grace, the understanding, and the creativity to navigate every patient case and every project that I'm involved in. So just seeing that weight and looking at the weights that I have on my floor, I was like, I can't lift a 25-pound child over my head. I can, but this weight is not correct, right? So I don't know. I just used the patience and the grace and creativity, and I just had God to navigate me through that situation. And currently sitting here in the main pharmacy as the Associate Director of Clinical Pharmacy Services, I hear our pharmacist on every call with every doctor, every nurse. And anytime when I hear there are questions that need assistance with navigating, I get up and I walk over and I help everyone to navigate the process just to ensure the patient has the best outcomes and the best care possible. So all thanks, thank you all for the recognition, but it all goes to God, and that's it.
Well, thank you. And you can hear in your voice that relentless vigilance in safety. No, you're hearing it over. Get involved. Ensuring patient safety is at the heart of pharmacy, and is why it's one of our key core values. So thank you, Jeremy. Wonderful work, wonderful story, and we thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and thank you, Zach. We're going to go 2 in a row from the network practices. Zoe Long is going to come up and read those stories. The first one is from our Network Patient Support Center for Michelle Barnett. Let's bring Michelle up. All right, Zoe.
Hi, everyone. So Michelle Barnett of our Network Patient Support Center received a call from a patient who was having difficulty breathing. The patient requested an appointment for that day, and Michelle scheduled the appointment, but before she could complete the call and escalate it, the patient hung up. Michelle, however, did not feel safe leaving the patient, so she called the patient back and appropriately reached out to the patient's primary care provider that could make the proper assessment. The patient did in fact need medical attention as soon as possible, and the medical assistant called for an ambulance to go to the patient's home. Thank you, Michelle, for recognizing the distress in the patient and having the insight to contact the primary care provider. The patient had only called for an appointment, but thanks to Michelle, they received the care that they truly needed.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. I think we can hear you. We can't see you. You can try leaning closer to the camera there, but I just love this story that, through the call, they got the care they actually needed. And again, relentless for their safety, would not stop, said, I've got to follow through on this. And I'd love to hear you comment on your commitment to ensuring patient safety as a top priority to ensure tragic results that could have happened don't happen, as we saw in this case.
Oh, thank you for the recognition. So basically, she was struggling breathing and she didn't sound normal. Every other word, she was taking a breath. And to me, that clicked that, they always tell us we have a list, if a patient calls with this or this, you gotta escalate the matter. And it just felt right to escalate, especially the way she was sounding.
Yeah, well, thank you. A right choice, and to think that in that work, you might not have gone in that day thinking you'd save a life, and came out at the end of the day with that recognition of purpose that you really have these opportunities to be thoughtful of safety and make such an impact.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I'll share that twice the same story was recognized, both by network practices and by support center leadership, to make sure this story was absolutely shared. They appreciated it so much. So congrats. Next up from network practices is Brianna Hardy. Now, Brianna can't come on screen where she's working, doesn't have a camera and audio, but she is watching. So Zoe's going to read this story. Know that Brianna is out there in our audience. Hi, Brianna. Listening and watching, and be sure you give her some commentary in the chat. on what you like about this story. So Zoe, I'll turn it to you.
So a physician at the Mount Sinai Doctors Long Island Green Lawn practice wrote the following to recognize office assistant Brianna Hardy. A kidney transplant patient was in danger of losing her anti-rejection medications due to insurance issues, which would have interrupted treatment and possibly jeopardized her transplant of more than 10 years. Brianna knew this and intervened. She spent an hour and a half on the phone trying to sort out the problem with the insurance company until finally the issue was resolved and the supply of medications were approved. Brianna displayed persistence and patience. Her commitment to the patient was exemplary, and she personified the dedication our team provides to the complicated patients we care for. Thank you, Brianna.
All right. Thank you, Brianna. If you're out there and you have ability to chat, write us your thoughts in the chat about this story. But I think the physician talking about your exemplary commitment to the patient as witness in this story, again, relentlessly ensuring that they get the best experience. That heart clearly comes through in this example, and we appreciate that. So everyone, write your appreciation for Brianna in the chat. She's out there reading those words. And Brianna, feel free to give your own thoughts there as well. Thank you, Zoe. And we're going to go on to, from Mount Sinai Morningside, our last in this section is from Morningside Ambulatory Leadership, who recognized Kabiru Sanku. Hi, Kabiru, and we're going to bring up Tyler Geegan to read this story.
Great, thanks, Steve. So in preparing for our recent Joint Commission survey, Administrative Manager Kabiru at our Harlem Health Center identified a potential vulnerability regarding documentation in some of the HR departmental files. Specifically, there were records that had to be updated to reflect the status of some staff outside of Kabiru's team. Kabiru accepted the challenge with a professional attitude and optimism. He worked with several departments, spending hours reviewing and gathering the correct information to update the files quickly, bringing them back into compliance. His efforts demonstrate excellence, agility, creativity, and just the willingness to go the extra mile to complete what was an unanticipated but very important task. He is a role model for others, and we are so fortunate to have him as part of our Mount Sinai Morningside team. And the survey went fantastic thanks to Kabiru's efforts.
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. I love that now we're post-survey with Joint Commission, and we can see that it was spectacular. Thanks to these efforts, and our HR team also appreciates that. On behalf of HR, we appreciate that extra effort. So Kabiru, this really demonstrates your dedication, not just to your team, but to Mount Sinai as a whole, and ensuring our collective success. What about this concern inspired you to take this immediate ownership, and say, I'm going to find a way to ensure that we are covered completely? How is that a reflection of your daily commitment?
Thank you. Thank you, Steve, and thank you to everyone. I mean, it's teamwork, and at the back of everything, patient care is what I always think of, no matter what. It's bringing the team together, the teamwork, the effort. Any day I step in, that's what's always at the back of my mind. But I cannot do it alone, and I wouldn't go without giving a praise to the entire Harlem team. Next week will mark 1 year since the move. So the Harlem team, kudos to everyone. There's a team behind me, and the team that allowed me to do what I've done to step in that situation. So thank you to the Harlem team, everyone from our doctors, the staff, nursing team, our program team. Everyone did an amazing job to allow me as the practice manager to do what I'm doing.
Love it. Love it, Kabiru. And thank you for recognizing those others. And congratulations to you. Thank you for your commitment to ensuring everything was in order for the Joint Commission visit. And congrats to your whole team as you celebrate 1 year of the Harlem Health Center. That's a big thing to celebrate across our health system. Excellent work. And thank you to everyone out there. I hope they're watching. And here are thanks for you. All right. Thank you so much. And thank you, Tyler. And next up, it's our final category. We've got 6 category colleagues being recognized in appreciation by colleagues. A lot of these come from star recognitions. In your resources, there is a link to that peer-to-peer way. Every day, you have the option to easily go in, select an employee who works here, and write up why you appreciate them. And that goes to them and their leader, and you highlight what values they do well. A lot of these come from star messages. One who couldn't be here, check out in your program, Solangel Rodriguez, could not attend. We wrote up the whole story. It's in our program. She was praised by a colleague who admires how dedicated she is to assisting patients and always going the extra mile for our callers. So thank you, Solangel. You can read that story in our program. But let's go to Mount Sinai Health System laboratory leadership, who recognized peer appreciation for Radhika Banu. And we'll have my colleague Kathy Gilbert, for System Spotlight Committee member, read this story.
Thank you, Steve. Our System Director of Laboratory Operations, Radhika Banu, joined the team amidst the pandemic in 2020 and quickly became invaluable to the lab's response. A note from Dr. Thomas Hansen, System Vice Chair of Clinical Pathology, states, Radhika has proven herself a calm head during the crisis, and her critical management skills always keep everyone calm and organized. She never hides or turns from duties. Her every response is, yes, of course, I'll get right on it. Radhika's technical prowess coupled with her leadership is top notch. She's a pivotal team leader and outstanding colleague.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kathy. Straight from your colleagues, recognizing the great work you've done, not just right now, but since you joined us right in the midst of the pandemic in 2020. What stands out to you from what your leadership is recognizing about your leadership traits? And what is it that you're passionate and committed to in how you lead our laboratory teams at Mount Sinai?
Thanks, Steve. Before I respond, firstly, I would like to congratulate all the honorees here with this amazing event and incredible stories and excellence. And I think my response lies in the question itself. I'm a passionate leader. I am very passionate about my work. And that gives, the energy, and the passion is for the vision, right? So it gives the energy, enthusiasm, and the constant drive to continue to evolve, improve, and solve problems, and working closely with the team, right? Recognizing their strength and weakness and steering the team. I think that is all it is. And I think my full commitment is to continue to inspire others to join and identify our vision and achieve our goals, which is ultimately the best patient care, and also help them achieve theirs in the process. And I always look for my leadership team as I continue to learn from them. And I loved your board that you had teamwork. I think that stands out, and it resonates every team in the Sinai system here. And I see all these stories reflecting that as well.
Right. Well, thank you, Radhika. It does take team and excellent teamwork, but individually, we're the ones who bring our passion into what we do. We believe in what we do. We believe its importance. We take pride in the work that we do. And when you bring that passion into your work, you see the impact it makes and how others recognize it in you to want to celebrate you and appreciate you for it today.
Thank you, Steve.
so
Thank
much.
you to your team for this amazing, and we have seen how this program has evolved over years, and it's really great to have everybody and have this, celebrating event here. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Wait till season 4. We'll bring all the bells and whistles. Thank you, Radhika, and thank you, Kathy. One other that we have who couldn't be here, just found out Elizabeth Marshall isn't going to be able to make it. Kathy was going to read that story. She's from our Mount Sinai Hospital faculty practice, but since she couldn't make it, she sent me a quick message. I want to put it up and share this screen. She was recognized through 2 different star messages, and she wrote such a wonderful response to me when she realized she couldn't make it today. I want to be able to share it with you. So here it is, and here's Elizabeth right here. It's very simple. Healthcare is specialty customer service, and is the one thing that no matter where life takes you, you will need it. Moreover, it could potentially be one of the hardest times of your life. I must make sure that any patient, family member, or caregiver that I encounter knows that the voice on the other end of the phone, me, Elizabeth, is committed to their well-being, which means I render the service and care I want for myself and my own loved one. And if that wasn't enough, her final statement is, I didn't fall into healthcare, healthcare fell into me. Absolutely powerful and passionate and impactful words from Elizabeth. We're so sorry she wasn't able to join us today. She let me know last minute and submitted that, and I thought it was incredible, and I wanted to share it with all of you. So thank you, Elizabeth, and we'll make sure we get you a copy of this link as well. So give her some love in the chat, and we'll share it with her. But next up, let's go to Mount Sinai downtown Union Square. Leadership recognized Jesse Carbo. And Jesse, as you'll see in this story and in real life, finds a way to be here. He's traveling today, actually, at the airport, found a spot to be. Thank you for joining us, Jesse.
Sorry for the music.
That's all right. And we'll go to Ellie to share your story.
All right. Thank you, Steve, and congratulations to all of the amazing staff being celebrated today. I'm happy to introduce and to celebrate Jesse Carbo. A colleague shared this story to recognize Senior Manager of Materials Management, Jesse Carbo, at Mount Sinai Union Square. After trying to find the UPS package containing a patient's medication throughout the day, I called Jesse around 5 p.m. to see if he could just check the loading dock just one more time. He informed me that he had already left the building, but still asked for the tracking information. Jesse reached back out within 15 minutes to let me know he went back into the building, searched for and found the package, and then dropped it off to the pharmacy where it needed to go. Jesse went above and beyond his call of duty, and because of him, we did not have to reschedule this patient's appointment the following day. Thank you always for being incredibly helpful. On behalf of the entire Union Square leadership team, congratulations, Jesse. We are so happy and proud to have you as part of our team.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ellen. I heard Ellie also shared this statement on their huddle this morning at Union Square, which is wonderful. Jesse, and I love that this person wrote the impact, that it didn't have to reschedule the patient for another day because of the efforts you stepped up to make. And it demonstrates your commitment to always putting the patients first. I'd love to give you a chance to talk about that. Where does that come from, that commitment to your patients?
I mean, patient comes first. So as soon as I heard that we're going to have to reschedule the patient, that's, I couldn't allow that. So I was already 2 stops in the train. So I came back and, to look for the package.
Is that incredible or what, folks? Not only did he already leave, he had long left. He was 2 stops on his way home for the day on the train, switched, got up and down the staircase around to the downtown and came back just to come and ensure. That's how heartfelt Jesse's commitment is to ensuring patients come first. It's really remarkable.
Thank you.
Jesse, I know it's hard to talk where you are. We love your story. We so deeply appreciate you. And I want to thank you for finding a way to join us today so we can honor you for this story.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay, thanks so much, Jesse. And thank you, Ellie. I believe we're waiting on Wilfredo. You see, he's next on our agenda. We're going to hold that story, Andres, from West, from Supply Chain Leadership, recognize Wilfredo Cedeno, see if he can join. We're going to go to Mount Sinai Hospital. Colette Watson has 2 stories. First off, it's for Shyam Lama. We're going to bring up Shyam here for a story from Mount Sinai Hospital. And there we go. All right, Colette, let's take it away.
Thank you, Steve. So Shyam Lama, a physicist in the Radiation Safety Office, received the following star recognition that states, Shyam and the entire radiation safety team are so supportive in our Center for Radiation Sciences Education. When we ran into an issue ordering radiation safety badges for an incoming cohort, Shyam quickly met with the involved parties and came to a solution so that our badges were obtained and safety policies upheld. Additionally, Shyam presents to our students multiple times throughout the year on radiation safety principles and policies. We are so grateful for his time, expertise, and support of student learning. Thank you for all that you do, Shyam.
Yeah, thank you. And a really nice star message to receive and for your leaders to see that someone took the time to write for you. And I'm wondering if you could tell us more about, we're back to safety. This commitment to safety has been a big theme. What is your commitment to safety and to the education that you provide for these cohorts of students that you get to interact with?
Yeah, hi. Firstly, Steve, thank you. And I would also like to extend my appreciation to Dr. Demopoulos, who gave me the recognition, not just to me and also to my department. So we serve a lot of other departments. So finally, somebody has appreciated and put something on paper. So, and also I would like to thank my boss who's here in this meeting. So, and also my coworkers are here. Without them, none of this is possible. I enjoy working with all of them. And they're all over here cheering me today. So yeah, and to answer your question, yeah, so in terms of commitment, for us, it's about prioritizing the well-being of all individuals, proactively identifying risks, following the best practices and creating a culture where safety is everyone's responsibility. And it's also about staying vigilant and continuously improving processes and ensuring that we are in compliance with all safety standards so that everyone goes home safe every day. And in terms of educating the students, it's for me, it's about fostering a culture of awareness, providing ongoing training, and ensuring that safety protocols, principles are clearly understood by all the students. So, because I believe in empowering individuals with the knowledge and skills they need to make these decisions, both in their daily task and in emergencies. I mean, through these continuous education, I think we can prevent incidents and create a safer environment for everyone.
I love it. Twice I caught you use the word culture, that it's not just, teach something, it's create a culture create a culture of safety, the culture of continuous learning. Like this is what's powerful. And that's at the heart of how you present and teach and educate, then that's going to drive that commitment and excellence. So I love it. Excellent words. And thank you so much for, to you and for leaders recognizing the great work that you and your team do.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay, thank you so much. And we've got one more story, unless we see Wilfredo. And I know you've been seeing the Victor Padilla for president marks in our chat, even some that look like they came from Victor. I'm sure it's just someone with his login that joined his teams there and embarrassing him clearly. Victor Padilla for president. Colette, let's hear this wonderful finale to our episode today.
Absolutely. So as a dedicated Mount Sinai employee for over 20 years, Victor Padilla started as a porter and worked his way up through the ranks as a doorman, handyman, and ultimately a building superintendent. His hard work ethic is reflected in his professionalism, politeness, and technical knowledge that has allowed him to excel in his career. Recently, a postdoc researcher in one of our residential buildings wrote to say, Victor clearly takes strong ownership of the buildings he is responsible for and takes a great deal of pride in making them ideal places to live. An essential and rare quality in a super. I was also always struck by Victor's knack for coming prepared. No matter what repair, he always knew immediately what to do. His ability to predict, prepare for, and address anything that might be needed in the building is impressive, and we trust him implicitly to take care of whatever we need. Mount Sinai's real estate team expresses their pride in seeing Victor recognized today for his achievements. Thank you, Victor.
All right, thank you. And you can see the pride in his team and how they're supporting him in the chat and live in person here. Victor, this letter from a resident of the building really comments on recognizing the pride and ownership you take for caring for the people who live in these buildings. Can you talk about that? What drives you to go above and beyond in your work to ensure, as they put it, that these buildings are ideal places to live?
First, I want to say I thank you to Tom Hahn for giving me the opportunity to come to Mount Sinai to work for the 20 years that I've been here. Treat people like family. You can't go wrong if you treat them like family. And as far as the work ethics, I would say that comes from my family. So thank you for everything, everyone, and my management staff.
I know they're proud. They were excited to see you being recognized. First, thank you for your 20 years of service and to even go back to how it started and to appreciate leadership for hiring you into that role. To hear your professional growth at the start of this story is remarkable, and where you are today, and to hear that heartfelt commitment to treating everyone in that building like family really is what must guide your everyday action that leads to letters like this. It's wonderful to hear. Thank you so much, Victor. Congrats to you, and we're glad we got to talk with you today.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. All right, and thank you, Colette. Have a wonderful day. We are right at time. I don't see Wilfredo. Great story for Wilfredo. We'll try to share it in our emails that follow up. But thank you, everyone, for coming to join us today. These are the stories from July. We held them. We usually do them in the next month, but we didn't want to do it till past the holidays and people were back after Labor Day, which means, though, we've got our August stories ready to go in just 2 weeks. So if you enjoyed this, it filled you with spirit and Mount Sinai pride and energy, and you want to come on back, come to us again, this same link, same time, 2 weeks from today on September 27th. We'll share another wonderful collection of stories that were shared on our huddle in August. I thank you all for being here. Michael's going to throw up a little video with our final note on next episode, and have a wonderful weekend, everyone.